Now, this is a worksheet I started for you guys. Now, I'm actually, my goal weight, I'm like 5'1.5", 154. So my goal weight always was like 51, 52. And I was there, but recently I've gained like maybe 57 is an exaggeration. I'm not 57, but then I do see 57 sometimes. So I would like to go to 52, and I'm going to use this process all over again. Um, I was 52, and then I started noticing myself slowly eating all the insulin sensitive food. So I have done this work multiple times, and I would like to go to 51, because always keep a lower number than what you want. So I want 52 actually, but I'm keeping 51. But I had been 50 and 51, and I didn't like the way it looked on my body. So I think there is something, that's my work, where my brain doesn't approve of me, of how I will look at 51. But I'm okay with 52, 53. So I'm going to go from 57 to 52. And this is the date when I started the process. The goal weight is that I'm going to be 51 by 18th of June. This is a decision I have made. Now, the compelling reasons: I don't want hair on my chin. Like, I see small hair coming in. That's our hirsutism. That's something which I didn't have before. And because my insulin resistance is becoming so intense now, that's happening for me. So I don't want that. I'm going to remove as much of insulin resistant, like I'm going to become as insulin sensitive as possible, because I want to reduce the testosterone in my body, and that can happen when you are consuming insulin sensitive foods. Then I want freedom around food. I no longer really want to be feeling that emotions around food. Food needs to be food, just fuel. I don't really have to eat the way I eat. Like, it's really not required, right? Why are we doing that? I don't want that. I want freedom around food. I want to eat food as fuel. I want to become insulin sensitive, because I'm now 42 almost, and I'm going to enter perimenopausal age group. That's when my insulin resistance is going to worsen. So I want to become insulin sensitive. That's one of my very important reasons. I want to be an example for my family. I've already been an example for them, but then now my child is like 5, and she is observing what I'm doing. Before also I was doing this. My husband has seen it. But I want them to start eating healthily. And he is already eating healthily. I have people around me who eat healthily looking at me, but I really want to become that example. And I want to avoid numbing with food. That's like a far-fetched goal, but I'm really hoping that one day I will reach there. So hopefully that is something which is achievable. And even if it's not achievable, that's fine too, but I'm gonna aim for that. So how many meals a day? I will have 2 meals. How many hours I will sleep? 7.5 hours. How many minutes daily exercise? 20 minutes. How many times sex during a week? I will not write that number because it's different for everyone. So if you're having once a week sex, that's also fine. If you're having once a month sex, that's also fine. Doesn't mean that something is wrong with you. If you're having sex 3 times a day, that doesn't mean something is wrong with you. Every couple is different. But for PCOS, because you want to be pregnant, you need to start having sex 2 to 3 times. At least aim for it. Having sex, the activity of sex should not be a problem. So that's why we need practice, especially if you are someone who is like really having a lot of thoughts around it. Practice will make you perfect. Right? Now let's come to the food decisions. Now this is slightly different. This sheet is for someone who's not getting pregnant, but for you it's going to be pregnancy safe carbohydrates, right? Do I like, yes or no? Now, pregnancy safe carbohydrates mean, if you meet any nutritionist or a dietitian in pregnancy, they would still recommend it's okay to eat bread, it's okay to eat this and that. They will have a lot of lists. I want you to ask your brain, what do you think? Right? Now, for me, brown rice, like every food item here has a problem. If you go on the internet, you will find pros and cons. So you need to really assess, like, is it really bad if I have that? So if you think that maybe it's okay, then it's fine, right? Like, this is what I'm eating right now. and it's a bit small, but I remember when it used to be big, when I used to like really fill up the food sheets and my menu was larger, right? But now it's reduced a lot because I really don't eat that much, and food is no longer that sort of conversation in my brain. So brown rice, do I like it? Yes. It's very important that you like what you're planning in this, because if you're not liking it, there's no need to plan it, right? Like brown rice I like, white rice I don't really like, because I don't feel that I've eaten much, because there was a time when I used to eat white rice, and then I switched to brown rice for years and years, and now I'm back on white rice, and then I'm back, I don't like it, so I'm going back to brown rice. It's hard to digest, but that's what we want, right? We don't want refined grains. Poha I like, I'm gonna have it in my plan. Oats I like, I'm gonna have it in my plan. Oats also like as much closer to the natural form, so steel cut oats will be better than rolled out oats. Should be sort of difficult to cook. Quinoa I like, actually I don't like, so I'm gonna make it a no. Potatoes, love. Nothing wrong with potatoes, just don't deep fry them. You can grill them, you can have it in curries, vegetables, you can boil them, you can bake them. All that is okay, just don't deep fry. That's really bad for your heart. Coconut, love. Sabudana, love. Chia seeds, love. Cucumbers, carrots, excellent. For people who love to snack on things. Like I don't snack on them, I would rather not snack. I just keep them here because it's excellent in salads. Now, insulin sensitive proteins. Now, for you, pregnancy safe. So, most of these, if you say, most of these are safe, except for chia, I'm not sure. So, do it in moderation, but rest all are safe in pregnancy. And you can expand your list. Like, it's like if you are curious about whether your food sheet is appropriate and you're doing it right, then please come on that discovery call. Consider utilizing that as to get an understanding of what's happening here. Okay, then or ping me on Instagram. That's where I check my messages. You can always ask me there. And also, if you want to work with me, please get in touch with me. Maybe there are spots available for you. Now, insulin sensitive proteins, pregnancy safe proteins. Now, overall in pregnancy, you can eat everything, but in moderation. Remember that. And second of all, don't eat anything raw. Don't eat raw fish, raw chicken, raw eggs, because there can be bacteria in it, which can be harmful for the baby. Apart from that, don't eat blue cheese, those sort of weird fungus items. Like processed cheese is still better than those really smelly ones. If you like them, you need to stay away from them at least. And remember, you're not pregnant right now. So some people say you should not eat papaya because they have a lot of phytoestrogens in it. Nothing bad happens, trust me. There are a lot of people who would get pregnant and they don't want the pregnancy. So they will try to eat all these unhealthy foods too, so that the baby falls. It doesn't fall. Okay? So the babies, nothing happens to the babies because you ate something wrong. If it was already a problem baby, it is going to fall. So, insulin sensitive proteins for me, eggs are great, chicken, fish, edamame beans, lentils. This is what I like. Now, I don't eat beef, I don't eat other proteins, but if you are someone who eats beef or red meat, please have it, because you are gonna get all your iron from there. It's the best iron source that you would have. Like someone, like I am from India, right? We would have so much anemia in India because we don't eat red meat. Whereas when I came to this country in UAE, here everyone eats red meat. The chances of anemia is so much lesser, and because they are eating red meat, it's more bioavailable iron. Lentils, meat, the animal proteins is way better than plant proteins. But if you're a vegetarian, then you can have soya, you can have lentils, beans, pulses. You might get a bit gassy, but it's all still proteins. Check with yourself whether you like it or no. Insulin sensitive fats. There is a theory that seed oils are bad. So I'm trying that. Like whatever works for you, you need to write in this. Olive oil I love because I don't have any problem with it. So I have replaced most of my cooking oil to cooking olive oil or ghee or butter, because seeds are inflammatory, it causes leaky gut and all of that. So I'm trying to eliminate that. I'm going to use everything in my arsenal to optimize my food. So I'm just going to have these. So olive oils are good. Anything which is seed oil is probably not good. I don't know the science behind it. I'm not a nutritionist. I don't care to be one. I'm going to just take their word for it and I'm going to implement it because it sounds good to me. Olive oil is good. Ghee is butter. Butter is okay. Dalda, margarines, not good for your fat. Don't deep fry things. Deep frying is bad for your heart, because it's not just about insulin resistance. There is damage happening in your heart vessels, not right now, but you will get a heart attack at the age of 50. You don't want that. Some patients get heart attacks in their pregnancy as well. We don't want that. So stay away from trans fats. Dark chocolate, anything above 85% is good, so you can have that. Nuts, in moderation. Try to have them, all of these fats, with your meals. So don't snack on them. Have it with your meals as desserts. And also check, I love all of these. So I forgot to write yes. Or let me write yes. Oops, sorry, forget it. Anyway, so insulin sensitive fruits. Fruits are not bad. They are natural sweets and they are with fiber. So remember, anytime you eat fruits, it's with fiber. That fiber is going to slow your digestion. It's not going to release sugar like that. Okay, but some fruits are like really sweet. So you don't have to introduce them. Like I had a client who would just have fruits all day long. And I kept on telling her, like, why are you having fruits all day long? Like, is there some reason? No, I want to improve my insulin resistance. And fruits are good, but we need to do it in moderation. You can have it as a dessert or you can have it, or on your porridge or something. So apples, bananas, figs, prunes, apricots, this is what I like. I love oranges, but they're just like too sweet, especially in UAE. I don't want anything which is like too much, right? So that's why it's not in my food. Now, foods to avoid in insulin resistance. Fried food, miles away. Stay miles away. Don't fry your potatoes. Don't fry your rice. Don't fry your chicken, fish. Don't fry your eggs. Okay, little bit oil is okay, but not too much. Grilling is okay. Shallow frying is okay, but don't do deep fry stuff. Salty, be careful. Always check sodium in your packaged foods. If the sodium is high, like anything above 150 or something milligrams, that means they have added a lot of sodium. It's processed food. Most of these processed foods have high sodium, and that high sodium is eventually going to cause you high blood pressure as well. So we don't want that. If you are consuming high salt diet right now, you will get high blood pressure in pregnancy. We do not want that. Avoid sweet, sugary things. Avoid gluten if possible, because it's inflammatory. Avoid alcohol. It's another juice. It's concentrated. It's refined. It is going to produce high insulin. Avoid cigarettes. Avoid coffee. Avoid dairy if possible. And avoid seeds if possible. So right now the goal is to go no flour, no sugar for me. That is minimum, and avoid fried and salty as well. Rest all also avoiding, right?